So my name's Alana and I live in Geelong. I work in government and I play the cello and am part of the music scene in Geelong. I've been playing music since I was about 8 years old. Both my parents were musicians or studied music, and my mum was a music teacher. And so I grew up around music and loved the idea of playing. And I've been playing music ever since. When I was about 6 or 7, my mum wanted me to play violin, and I thought that was a terrible idea because I thought violin sounded really awful, especially for beginner violinists. And my dad was a cellist, so it was a natural choice for me to play cello. And then my dad ended up being my teacher for the rest of my life. I have two complete opposite favourites when it comes to playing cello. I really love doing contemporary music. I just played in & Juliet, which is all the songs I grew up with, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, and it was really, really fun. But I also love playing Baroque music, which is pretty much the earliest contemporary type of music you can play. And they're complete opposite, but I love playing them both. I don't find my job to be very stressful. It can be, we can be under pressure. Sometimes you have to do things in tight turnarounds or occasionally at night or over the weekend if something's really important. But I don't find it particularly stressful, and I have a really great team that supports me. So I quite enjoy my job, actually. People are really surprised when they find out I'm a musician when my day job is working in government, because they think it's so different, and they're always surprised. They think, oh, you're so creative. But I actually think there's a lot more similarities than differences, especially as a classical musician, because as a classical musician, you're playing the notes that are printed on the page and you're obeying the instructions: faster, slower, louder, softer. It's all written there, and government is not so different either. You have to work in legislation and you have to interpret the policy, but there's guidelines to do it, so you're not varying too far out each time. So it's actually quite similar. I don't find it very hard to balance having a full music hobby and working a day job. Because music is my hobby, so it's relaxing for me. So even though sometimes I'll work a full day and then have a rehearsal from 7:30 till 10 o'clock at night, it's not a chore, it's fun. I enjoy it. So it's never hard to balance it. It's only when work is really busy, and occasionally I've had to miss rehearsals because something's urgent, I've got to work till 9 o'clock at night. That's when it's hard to balance, but because it's a hobby, you can't kind of complain about it, you just have to go with it. So Geelong has a really amazing art scene, and it's a really inclusive community. I am from Sydney and I lived in Melbourne for a while, and I've never experienced it as a semi-professional musician or an amateur. I've never experienced the support that there is in Geelong, because it is a smaller place that you have, everyone knows everyone. And I find like I do lots of different musical concerts, and yet you run into the same people, and it's just a really great community. And I think Geelong as a regional centre is getting bigger. So we're getting bigger and bigger professional artists coming down to Geelong as well, which also helps because you have young kids getting the opportunity to see people they might never get to see otherwise. I'm really excited for next month. I've got 2 very different performances coming up. On the 9th of May, we're playing, the Geelong Symphony Orchestra is playing the Four Seasons, which is Baroque music. And then later that month, I'm playing in a 3-week run of Beauty and the Beast, which again is contemporary, but was my favorite Disney movie growing up. So I'm really looking forward to doing both of those concerts, but again, complete opposite ends of the spectrum, and just an example of how wonderful Geelong's arts community is that you can do all of those things.